Believe it or not, this is a common delicacy in China. Well, this is just the tip of the iceberg. Today, you're going to learn about the most bizarre foods consumed in China. Watch if you have the stomach for it. Well, join us and let's go. Number 18. Bull penis soup. Let's start with a dish that certainly catches attention. Soup made from the intimate part of a bull. This dish, although it may seem shocking to many, is considered a delicacy and a powerful tonic in traditional Chinese medicine. Preparation of this soup is a time-consuming and meticulous process. The bull's penis is carefully cleaned, sliced, and slowly cooked with a variety of Chinese medicinal herbs. The result is a rich, gelatinous broth with pieces of the organ floating in the soup. The flavor of the soup is surprisingly mild, with earthy notes from the herbs. The texture of the cooked member is described as soft and gelatinous, similar to a well-cooked tendon. Many connoisseurs say that the taste itself is not the main point. It's the supposed health benefit that attracts consumers. In traditional Chinese medicine, this soup is believed to have powerful aphrodisiac and rejuvenating properties. It's often recommended for men who wish to improve their virility and performance in relationships. Some also believe it can improve skin health and strengthen the kidneys. Restaurants specializing in medicinal tonics often offer this soup, usually at high prices. It's common to see businessmen and elderly people consuming the dish, seeking its supposed health benefit. Number 17. Fried centipede. Let's now talk about another gross item. Fried centipede. These multi-legged arthropods, usually seen as scary creatures, are transformed into a crunchy appetizer that perfectly exemplifies the Chinese philosophy that almost anything can become a delicacy. Proper preparation. Centipedes, particularly giant species, are most commonly found as a novelty in street food in certain regions of China. The preparation process is surprisingly simple, but requires skill to preserve the integrity of the insect while achieving the perfect texture. The centipedes are carefully skewered, seasoned with a secret spice blend, and then fried until they reach a uniform and irresistibly crispy golden color. The result is a snack that offers a unique sensory experience. At the first bite, the outer shell cracks satisfyingly, revealing a soft interior. The taste itself is surprisingly subtle, often described as slightly sweet with earthy notes. However, it's the texture that really stands out. The numerous legs become deliciously brittle, creating a pleasant sensation when chewing. Another pleasant sensation would be if you subscribe to our channel right now. So take the opportunity now and subscribe to stay up to date with the greatest curiosities of our night. Now that you've done that, let's continue. Number 16. Crispy spiders. Let's talk about another peculiar snack that catches attention: fried spiders. These 8-legged arthropods, which would normally cause shivers, are transformed into crispy, protein-rich delicacies. The preparation process is surprisingly simple. The spiders are lightly breaded and fried until they reach a golden and crispy point. The result is a snack that combines contrasting textures. The crispy exterior gives way to a soft and juicy interior. The bravest start by tasting the legs, which offer a unique, crunchy experience, before venturing into the spider's body. In the eastern provinces of Shandong and Zhejiang, the approach is a little different. Smaller spiders are simply sautéed with salt and the famous Sichuan pepper, enhancing their peculiar elastic texture. It's common to see people savoring these arachnid snacks accompanied by a cold beer, creating a combination that defies Western culinary expectations. Beyond the novelty factor, spiders are surprisingly nutritious. Rich in proteins, vitamins, and minerals, they have been part of the Chinese diet for generations, especially in regions where traditional protein sources may be scarce. Number 15. Silkworms and scorpions. In the vast culinary landscape of China, few ingredients capture the essence of transformation and adaptability. Silkworms and scorpion. In Chinese Neolithic times, about 5,000 years ago, archaeological evidence was found of silkworm consumption, not only as a source of precious silk thread, but also as a valuable protein source in times of scarcity. Silkworm pupae, roasted or cooked, became a nutritious and tasty snack, a tradition that persists to this day. Fast forward a few millennia, and we come to scorpions, whose history in Chinese cuisine and medicine dates back more than 2,000 years. Ancient texts of traditional Chinese medicine, dating from the Han Dynasty, already recommended the use of scorpions to treat a variety of conditions, from numbness to tumors and skin inflammations. This medicinal tradition persists, with modern studies investigating the possible anti-inflammatory and anti-cancer effects of these arachnids. Today, both silkworm chrysalises and scorpions are sold as classic street snacks throughout China. Silkworms are usually seasoned with spices and then fried or grilled on skewers, resulting in a crispy exterior that hides a creamy and flavorful interior. Number 14. Duck tongue. Few dishes capture the essence of innovation and full ingredient utilization like duck tongue. Among the various dishes displayed, come across a plate of small, dark, meaty pieces. These are duck tongues, an appetizer that has been delighting Chinese palates for generations. The preparation of duck tongues is an art that requires precision and care. They are usually marinated in a complex mixture of ingredients, including soy sauce, rice vinegar, sesame oil, and a variety of carefully selected spices. Number 13. Sea cucumbers. Diving into the depths of the South China Sea, we find a creature that at first glance would hardly be considered a delicacy. The sea cucumber. Its preparation is a meticulous process that requires patience and skill. First, the sea cucumbers are carefully dried, a process that can take weeks. Then, they are boiled and rehydrated, transforming their rubbery texture into a unique, almost crunchy consistency. Highly appreciated in Chinese cuisine. What makes sea cucumber so special is not just its flavor, but mainly its texture. Thanks to a unique compound called fucosylated glycoprotein, these marine organisms offer an incomparable sensory experience when properly prepared. Combination of a gelatinous texture with a crunchy touch creates a true culinary wonder that intrigues and enchants the most demanding palates. Rarity and laborious preparation process have contributed to elevating the status of sea cucumber to a prestigious food. For centuries, it was considered an imperial food, reserved for the most fortunate and powerful in Chinese society. Today, although more accessible, it remains a valued item at banquets and special occasions. Number 12. Shark fin soup. Among the most controversial dishes in Chinese cuisine, few generate as much discussion and controversy as the famous shark fin soup. Once considered the pinnacle of luxury gastronomy in China, this millennial delicacy now finds itself at the center of a debate involving cultural tradition, social status, and environmental conservation. The history of shark fin soup began in the Ming Dynasty. Over 600 years ago, initially reserved for the imperial elite and nobility, this soup symbolized prosperity, honor, and respect. Its popularity reached new heights in the 20th century, especially after being served at a state dinner for the Queen of England in 1961. Solidifying its status as a dish of international prestige. The fascination with this soup doesn't lie in its flavor, which is surprisingly subtle, but in its unique texture and the symbolism it carries. Shark fins, rich in collagen, when slowly cooked in a usually chicken-based broth, create a gelatinous and fibrous texture highly appreciated in Chinese cuisine. The rarity of the main ingredient and the laborious preparation process contribute to its high value and prestige. In other words, this delicacy is quite expensive. Number 11. Bird's nest soup. Among the most exotic and luxurious dishes in Chinese cuisine, few can rival the legendary bird's nest soup. In fact, this delicacy was once even an exclusivity of Chinese royalty. The main ingredient of this soup is not, as the name suggests, a nest made of twigs and leaves, but rather nests built by swiftlets with their own saliva. These small birds, native to Southeast Asia, build their nests in caves and coastal cliffs that are difficult to access, using threads of saliva that harden on contact with air. Harvesting these nests is a dangerous and laborious task. Collectors risk their lives climbing steep cliffs and exploring dark caves to collect just a few grams of this precious ingredient. This scarcity and the danger involved in collection contribute to the high value of the nests, costing up to $10,000 per kilogram. For centuries, the possession and consumption of these nests were restricted to the elite of Chinese society. They were believed to possess almost magical properties, conferring longevity, increasing libido, improving voice, and even brightening the skin. Emperors, eager to prolong their reigns, coveted this exotic elixir. The preparation of bird's nest soup is an art in itself. The nests are carefully cleaned and then slowly cooked in a rich broth, usually chicken-based. As the nest dissolves, it forms gelatinous strands in the broth, creating a unique, almost creamy texture. The flavor is subtly sweet, allowing Chinese chefs to demonstrate their mastery by balancing it with premium ingredients like Chinese ham and ginseng. Number 10. Chicken feet. Leaving behind controversial soups, we come across a snack that, although it may seem strange to some, is extremely popular in China. Chicken feet. Locally known as phoenix claws, this dish is a true delicacy for the Chinese. Chicken feet are appreciated not for the amount of meat, which is minimal, but for the unique texture they offer. The skin and tendons, when well prepared, result in a culinary experience that is simultaneously crunchy, gelatinous, and full of flavor. The preparation usually involves a two-step process. First, the feet are boiled to soften, and then they are marinated in a mixture of soy sauce, rice vinegar, sugar, and a variety of spices. Afterwards, they can be served cold as an appetizer or fried to create a crispy crust. In dim sum, a popular form of meal in Cantonese cuisine, chicken feet are often served in small steamer baskets. They are so popular that it's not uncommon to see people queuing at famous restaurants just to try their version of this snack. Number 9. Stinky tofu. This next food is quite controversial not only for the palate but also for the sense of smell. Stinky tofu. As the name suggests, this snack has an aroma that can be described as, well, stinky. The process of creating this peculiar dish begins with regular tofu, which is left to ferment in a mixture of decomposing vegetables, dried shrimp, and salt for several days. But don't be fooled by the strong odor. Stinky tofu is a beloved delicacy in various regions of China, especially in Taiwan. It's usually served fried, which creates a crispy crust on the outside while keeping the inside soft and creamy. Contrast of textures, combined with the intense flavor, creates a unique culinary experience. Street vendors often offer this snack at their stalls, and the characteristic smell attracts both lovers of the dish and curious individuals willing to test their gastronomic limits. Many compare it to Western blue cheese, an acquired taste that divides opinions but wins many fervent fans. Interestingly, each region has its own version of stinky tofu, with variations in odor intensity and preparation method. Some areas prefer a milder smell, while others value a more pronounced aroma. Number 8. Bat soup. We've reached a dish that has recently gained worldwide notoriety, albeit for controversial reasons. Bat soup. Although not a common food throughout China, it is consumed in some regions, mainly in the south of the country. Preparation of this soup involves boiling the whole bat in a broth, often accompanied by Chinese medicinal herbs. Result is a dark-colored soup, with the bat floating in the center of the dish. The meat is described as having a soft texture and a flavor reminiscent of chicken, but with wilder and earthier notes. In traditional Chinese medicine, bat meat is believed to have medicinal properties, including strengthening the kidneys and improving night vision. Some even claim it can help prevent cancer, although there is no scientific evidence to support these claims. In recent years, especially after the COVID-19 pandemic, the consumption of bats has been strongly discouraged and even banned in many areas. Many Chinese, especially younger and urban generations, no longer view this practice favorably. Number 7. Ant eggs. Moving forward in our list, we come to an ingredient that could easily go unnoticed due to its diminutive size. Ant egg, known in China as caviar of the land. These tiny treasures are considered a rare and expensive delicacy. The eggs in question are actually the pupae of weaver ant, collected from the tropical forests of southwest China, mainly in Yunnan province. The selection process is meticulous and laborious, which contributes to the high price of this ingredient. As for the taste, ant eggs are described as having a subtly sour taste and a creamy texture that bursts in the mouth. Some compare them to a mild cheese with nutty notes. Traditionally, they are consumed raw with just a touch of salt and pepper. Fully appreciate their delicate flavor. In modern Chinese cuisine, innovative chefs have incorporated ant eggs into more elaborate dishes. They can be found sprinkled over salads, mixed into omelets, or even used as a garnish in sophisticated fish dishes. Besides their unique flavor, ant eggs are valued for their supposed medicinal property. In traditional Chinese medicine, they are believed to strengthen the immune system and increase vitality. Number 6. Snake soup. Slithering to the next item on our list, we find a dish that leaves anyone scared. Snake soup. Preparation of snake soup is a spectacle in itself. In specialized restaurants, customers can choose the live snake they wish to consume. The chef then skillfully kills and prepares the serpent in front of the diners, a process that some consider an integral part of the experience. The soup is usually made with snake broth, mixed with Chinese medicinal herbs, mushrooms, and sometimes a bit of rice wine. The snake meat is added to the broth, resulting in a rich and aromatic soup. Some versions also include snake blood, which is mixed with alcohol and drunk separately. The flavor of snake meat is often compared to that of chicken, but with a firmer texture and a more pronounced taste. The soup itself has a complex taste, with herbal notes and a touch of umami. In traditional Chinese medicine, snake soup is revered for its supposed medicinal properties. It is believed to improve blood circulation, strengthen the immune system, and even increase male virility. Some consider it particularly effective in treating joint pain and skin problems. Number 5. Balut. For many Westerners, the idea of eating an embryo may seem shocking. Although it's more commonly associated with the Philippines, balut is also appreciated in certain regions of China, especially in the south. Balut is essentially a fertilized duck egg that is incubated for 14 to 21 days before being cooked and consumed. The result is an egg containing a partially developed duck embryo. When opened, it reveals a mixture of egg yolk, embryo, and a clear liquid known as soup. Traditionally, it's eaten directly from the shell, first sipping the broth, then eating the yolk, and finally the embryo. The taste is described as a complex mixture of textures and flavors. The soup is salty, the yolk creamy, and the embryo has a firmer texture, similar to meat. In China, balut is known as danhuang, or brown duck egg. It's considered a nutritious snack, rich in proteins and vitamins. Some consider it a natural fortifier, especially recommended for pregnant women or people recovering from illnesses. Number 4. Coagulated duck blood. Moving forward in our list, we come to a dish that challenges many Western sensibilities. Coagulated duck blood, known in China as shui dong. This food is a common part of cuisine in various regions of the country, especially in the south. Preparation process is relatively simple, but requires precision. Fresh duck blood is collected and immediately mixed with salt to prevent coagulation. Then, it's slowly cooked until it solidifies, forming a firm block of dark red color, similar to a pudding. The texture of coagulated blood is smooth and gelatinous, often compared to firm tofu. Flavor is surprisingly mild, with subtle metallic notes and a salty touch. It's often cut into cubes and used in soups, stews, or fried as a snack. In popular dishes like hot pot, Chinese fondue, coagulated duck blood is a common ingredient, appreciated both for its flavor and unique texture. Many consider it an essential complement to balance the spicy and aromatic flavors of the dish. Number 3. Dog meat. Historically, the consumption of dog meat has ancient roots in some regions of China, particularly in the northeast and south. It was traditionally associated with medicinal properties, believed to warm the body during the cold winter months. The most famous, or infamous, dish involving dog meat is probably the Guangxi dog stew, a mixture of slow-cooked meat with herbs and spices. The flavor is described as similar to lamb or veal, with a soft and juicy texture. However, it's crucial to note that the consumption of dog meat is rapidly declining in modern China. With the increase in pet ownership and changing attitudes towards dogs as companions, there's growing public opposition to this practice. The Yulin Dog Meat Festival in Guangxi Province, which began in 2009, has become a focal point for debate. The event attracts protests both within China and internationally, with animal rights activists pressing for its ban. The Chinese government has taken steps to discourage the consumption of dog meat. In 2020, China's Ministry of Agriculture reclassified dogs as companion animals, not livestock, signaling a significant policy shift. Number 2. Baby mouse wine. Reaching the penultimate item on our list, this is perhaps one of the most controversial in Chinese cuisine. Baby mouse wine. It's important to note that this practice is extremely rare and condemned by many, even within China. The process of making this wine is as shocking as it sounds. Newborn mice are drowned and fermented in jars of rice liquor for several months up to a year. The result is an amber-colored alcoholic beverage, with the bodies of the mice visible in the liquid. The taste of this drink is described as strong and pungent, with notes of gas and a bitter finish. Some compare it to a raw and harsh whiskey. However, few who try it do so for the taste. It's the supposed medicinal benefit that attracts consumers. Number 1. Century eggs. Among the many culinary wonders of China, few dishes capture the imagination and challenge the senses like the famous century eggs. Also known as thousand-year eggs or preserved eggs, these time-transformed eggs are a true gustatory odyssey that transcends generations. Contrary to what their name suggests, century eggs don't actually take a century to prepare. The process, however, is a fascinating demonstration of food preservation that dates back to ancestral Chinese practices. Duck, quail, or chicken eggs are carefully wrapped in a mixture of clay, salt, ash, and quicklime. This alkaline combination acts as a transforming agent, drastically altering the structure and flavor of the eggs over weeks or months. The result of this culinary alchemy is truly surprising. When cracking the shell, an interior that seems to come from another world is revealed. The white, previously translucent and colorless, acquires a dark brown hue and a gelatinous texture reminiscent of amber. The yolk, in turn, transforms into a creamy sphere of deep green, exhaling an intense and complex aroma. Now I want to know from you, which of these foods made you most curious to try? You can tell the truth down here in the comment. Well, how about now learning about the sweets that are forbidden all over the world? I'm going to leave that video appearing there on the screen for you. So click now to check it out. Well, that's it, and see you next time, curious one.